What's going on, Dog Nation, and respect the Hedges family, man? Listen, the Dogs stay undefeated. That's right, stay undefeated. All this physicality they told us the Cats was gonna bring into Athens. Hey, like the sign say up above me, man. They came in. I bet they respect them Hedges now, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about it, man. Talk about that big win that the Dogs had over the Cats, and we're gonna preview the Vanderbilt road game after that. And we also got a special guest for you. So you know how we do it. Let's get into it.
Georgia on the logo, celebrating back-to-back Nats. Perfection wears red and black tonight. 15-0. The Dogs have done it and won a second consecutive national.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Not again.
Leaf Booker to get the night started. Downfield looking for Godwin. Into his hands. And guess which Dogs are barking first? Uga, get after it. Sonny Michelle will send the Dogs home to the championship game.
And Bobo throws that thing in the end zone and
Yes! Touchdown! Touchdown in the goal line! Sigue Ringo! Corta dentro! Ringo! Touchdown! Georgia!
Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory. Georgia, as the fight song says.
This is our love for each other. 1 + 1 = what? 3. We are better together and we are connected.
This is Robert Iron E. Singleton, a.k.a. D-Dog from The Walking Dead, or Alton from The Blind Side, and you are watching Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. All right, guys, go Dogs, sick 'em.
That's right, man. That's right. The Dogs stay undefeated, man. They beat these Cats, man. And listen, y'all find the nearest Wildcat, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be the grocery store, and look at them and tell, hey, man, respect these Hedges, man. That's what. Before we get started, y'all know what it is, man. We're always presented by the Tailgate Kings. You know, we got some special footage, man, from our girl Heena. Where's Heena hiding from the game, man? We're going to go ahead and play that. Then we're going to bring our special guest on and jump into the show.
It's game day. It's time to show the nation who we are. I mean, they said the Texas Longhorns should be in the #1 spot. Well, after today, they think if they win. Oh no, let's show them who we are, Dogs. We got this. All right, we're in Athens at Creature Comfort with the one and only Jevaris King, our beloved wide receiver. Love him. We're happy to have you back in town.
Good to be here.
Oh man, so tell us what you've been up to lately.
Not a lot, just running my CBD farm, Rowdy Wellness. Trying to get, yes, I love one. Trying to help patients out with, any issues they're having, any kind of insomnia, anything like that, pains and ailments, and just taking a more holistic approach to wellness.
Love it. Okay, so we'll have to check out Rowdy Farms. All right, what do you think? Last week, we kind of looked a little rough.
We did.
Where do we need to improve? What are your thoughts on that?
We did. I think we just need to start faster. Start faster offensively. Hit on some of those, explosive plays that we missed on early last week. That'll change the trajectory of the game from the beginning. And then, just to start fast, because we know we finished.
Wide receiver spot. What do you think on that one? I know we're using Brock as a wide receiver pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, you got to use 19 as much as you can. I think the game plan obviously surrounds around him week in and week out. But I love our receivers. Got Matt McConkey back last week, and then made a bunch of third down plays. I think every third down he was in, he made a play. So getting him back is huge. And then adding Dom and Ra into the mix. I think I love our receivers out wide. I think we're really got a really special group. I think we'll get better as the season goes on and as Bobo gets more familiar with the weapons that he has.
Absolutely. And last question on the defense. What do you think is the key to today's game to win it?
Ray Davis, obviously, we know the caliber of player he is. We know the caliber of running game that the Wildcats brings. I think I would probably put the emphasis of the game to be on our front four to stop their running game. So, hopefully if we can do that, then, it'll be an awesome day for us Dogs.
All right, what about Mizzou, though?
Mizzou.
Challenge? You think it's going to be a challenge for us?
Mizzou and Eli Drinkwitz. Eli has those guys playing really good out there.
Yeah.
But it's all about the Dogs.
That's right. All about the Dogs. 3-peat loading. Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Georgia has a disco ball. Like, really? Shake and bake. Leave it to Julie. Leave it to Julie and her crew. To my East Coast people, go Dogs! Okay, so here I am at this tailgate, and I got two tight ends with me. My boy JV, and I got another tight end here.
Go Dogs!
All right. And Ryan, you play for?
Go Jets, go Bears.
Okay, the Jets and the Bears.
Yeah.
But who are we today? Who are we for?
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs! That's right. That's right. We're about to take this. Go Dogs! We take out Kentucky.
Woo! Let's get it.
Our boy from RTH right there, Jevaris Johnson.
All day represent. That's how we do it.
That's right. Tailgate King. I think I have come across the best fan that I have ever seen at a Georgia game. Look at this little guy right here. Who's your favorite player? Brock Bowers. All right, and we winning the national championship? Yes, yeah. That's right. Say go Dogs. All right, look at his hair. Can you turn? You can, look at that. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. You are savage, man. And look at that chain. Wow. Okay, wait, I did not see it all. Look at this. I mean, styling and profiling. Look at that hair. Oh my goodness. It just doesn't get better than that. And the socks and everything. Wow. And tell me your name? Taxi.
Man, that was a good show, man. As always, shout out to Heena, man, for our on-campus correspondent for the good footage, man. She be inside and out, tailgates throughout the stadium. We definitely appreciate that, man. Like I said, man, y'all saw the thumbnail. We got a special guest for y'all today. We're going to jump in Shelby. So shout out to Shelby, man. First lady RTA, she said she need them shoes. Had to get that up on there, man. But we're going to jump right into this thing. So our next guest, man, listen, man, we definitely are fortunate to have his son on the team, man, the best center in the nation. One of the reasons why I feel like we had a chance to get on this 3P journey. Let's go ahead and bring him on. We're talking about Sedrick Van Pran-Granger, his dad, Mr. Sedrick Granger. What's going on, Mr. Granger?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Man, we're doing good. We're doing good. How you feeling after that slaughtering we did in between the hedges Saturday?
Man, I was glad that they came out and they played that way, shut some people up,
That's right, man. Before we get into the rest of it, man, let's talk a little bit about Sedrick Van Pran, man. First off, let's start at the beginning. Why did you choose UGA?
Combination of things. First off, they were one of the first Power 5 schools to big schools to really recruit them. At the time, Sam Pittman, was here, and he was like known as, probably the best O-line coach in the country.
Big facts.
UGA is really good academic, institution. Also, like we got a bunch of family and friends in Metro Atlanta, and we was already coming Metro Atlanta 2-3 times a year anyway. So, you put it all together, man, it just made the most sense,
Hey, man, we're definitely glad y'all made that choice. I think y'all originally from Louisiana, correct?
Yes, we're from New Orleans.
Listen, man, that's big time because we all know how LSU keeps a lot of that talent at the house, man. So getting SVP out of there, man, we definitely glad Sam Pittman was able to do that, and that you guys stayed with us after Sam Pittman left. So I guess that leads into my follow-up. SVP had a chance to go pro this past year, man. What kind of went into his decision to come back to the Dogs?
Again, couple things, chance to make history, three-peat, but also, he wanted to improve his chances of being number one at his position, and kind of doing some research, man. What it seems like at his position, they really value it, and with the underclassmen, I guess it's just like a quarterback, unless you just like a quarterback, you just overly skilled. But it seems to be going the way we hoped it would go. That he come out this year, he felt like he was the number one center, and hopefully the NFL is going to feel the same way.
Yeah, I think just looking on the outside end, I think last year they had him in the top 3 at center, and then I think right now, currently, they definitely have him undoubtedly the number 1 center in college. So it looks like you guys' decision to have him come back, man, is definitely paying off. It's definitely paying off for the Dogs. Our offensive line this past Saturday, man, they played like they was pissed off about something, and I'm gonna need them to keep playing like that. I guess before after this question, man, we'll bring the other guys on and we'll chop it up about Kentucky. But you get to see it firsthand. You get to talk to him all the time. So did he tell you like any reason why early on the O-line wasn't kind of playing like, in the season, wasn't kind of playing how expectations were about the O-line?
Well, he doesn't tell me too much, about team stuff. He's a real team guy. Even with, his dad, he don't tell me a lot of stuff. But I know it was, like gelling, they had to learn how to play together.
Makes sense.
They missed a couple guys from last year, and, a couple of new guys had to step up. And it just was a matter of learning to play together,
Yeah, that sounds about right. We like you say, we lost 2 tackles to the NFL, had some injuries early, but it looks like some of these guys are coming back. I think we expect Marius in a couple of weeks. So I think they're going to start looking like we thought they were, man. So let's go ahead and bring our other guys in, man. First up, man, we got Cool Cal. What's going on, Cool?
Man, everything, man. Excited, man. I felt like, we finally looked like the number 1 team in the country, even though we've never lost that title, but we look like it. We look like, we look like last year to me, how we came out strong, fast. I know we're going to get into it when we talk about the game, but it is one thing that I'm a little bit sad about, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later from the game. Go ahead.
All right, man. Hey, that's right, man. Like you said, I think Saturday was the first time we put a full game together. We still got a lot to work on, but putting 4 quarters together is what we've been working on, But hey, man, what a thing to have when you can look not like you playing your best and still be undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So that's still winning, getting them dubs, man. Our next guy up, man, former wide receiver, Corey Allen, man. What's going on, CA?
I'm excited to be here. You know, I had a lot to say last week. I had a lot of complaints. I've been nitpicking all season, but you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with being wrong sometimes, baby. And I was excited to see the performance because I will say one thing here earlier. I always listen to the other coaches post game and how they talk about what they just faced when they see the Georgia Bulldogs. And Coach Stoops mentioned something along the lines of they're building something over there. He mentioned the fact that the team that he saw on tape wasn't the team he played on Saturday. And I think that speaks to the coaching. I think this coaching is just what we imagine as far as they understand that we can't show a lot to every team all season long. We've got to continue to work and build and develop these game plans. The game, the players have gotten better. I'm excited about the progression we're on, and I'm anxious to hear what the team has to say.
That's right, man. We're missing a couple of our members, man, but they're going to try to hop in the comments, but we're going to roll on with it. So, Mr. Granger, normally what we do is we talk about the good from Saturday, the bad and the ugly. I don't think we had a lot of ugly. There are some things that we can work on, so we're going to touch on a little bit of the good first. I like to give them the dessert first, and then we'll talk about what we need to work on. Kuka, I'm going to let you start out, man. Tell me some good things you've seen on Saturday, man.
Oh, man, a whole lot of good things. The first thing is, like we spoke about with the line, and I think Mr. Granger, he put it eloquently. He said we had to gel. You know, we were missing some guys last year, and I think that you started to see that this past weekend, where it looks like the unit, they blocked better. It looks like we were getting more punch, and the best part about it, the pass protecting, good God Almighty,
yeah,
it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Where Carson can just sit back there, scan the field. We've got weapons everywhere, and he did that. So the biggest thing is coming into this game, I think they said we had 17 first quarter points all season long.
Yep.
We scored 14 in the first quarter. We came back with 20 in the second quarter. Completely dominant half, offensive, defensively. We blocked, we tackled. Special teams is another thing. I think that at the beginning of the season, we're a little bit worried about our kicker. Our kicker is starting to really kick the ball well, as far as how he's kicking the field goals, just how they're going straight through the uprights. He's starting to look like the number one kicker in the nation. So I think that that's going to pay big dividends on down the road as well, because, you know, we're going to have some close games. We're going to play some tougher teams. And we're going to we have to make sure that our special teams are in line. So, you know, there was no doubt all around we played well. Carson, I think those passes that we were saying that he wasn't hitting, he was hitting those passes. I remember there was a route that he hit Jack Saint on across, beautiful ball. Hit him in stride where he went and scored that first touchdown. And I think that's the difference. You know, I know he's been having a pretty good year, but it was efficient. He had the 300 yards, 34 points at the half. Can't ask for anything more.
That's right, man. You touched on a lot of good things. We're going to let Mr. Granger get in here and tell us some good things you saw on Saturday at the game versus Kentucky.
Just a quick note about the kicker. First off, y'all know he's from Louisiana, right?
Here we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey, I like staying in the state of Louisiana to get recruits. They always have talent.
Yeah.
Got to get the best.
Man, they look awesome. You know, I'm a fan just like everybody else. You know, I know the amount of talent they have on the team, so I was just like y'all. You know what I mean? Like I wanted them to play up to their potential. You know, weeks ago, and I think they finally did. I think they probably took it personal with the media. Doubting them. I seen one thing. Is Georgia man enough to handle Kentucky? You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Exactly.
I think stuff like that fired them up. You know what I mean? I think defense tightened up. Because they kind of had some games where they some things fell through the cracks, but I think they really kind of showed people that on their side of the ball as well that they still one of the top groups in the country.
That's right. That's right, man. CA, man, a lot of good to talk about from Saturday's win, man. I think, like I said, it definitely wasn't a perfect game, but it was the closest thing we had this year. So what you saw good that you want to speak on today about that Kentucky victory?
I mean, you guys have mentioned a lot of it. I'm going to go over what I saw because I was really excited to see the offense move, especially early. That fast start was important to us. I'm never going to be excited. None of us are going to be excited when that team doesn't start fast because we do have the talent to see Carson Beck and that offense really go out, put the foot to the metal, pedal to the metal early. I was excited. That pass play that you mentioned when Rosemary Jackson scored, that was beautiful to me to see us take advantage of the athletes we have, using those crosses, playing off of Brock Bowers, knowing the defense is going to have to commit one way or another. I was really glad to see the way Beck and Bobo performed. I thought that was a masterful offensive play calling set, and I love the way Carson executed. So it's the complete opposite of what I felt previously because I wanted him to take charge of the offense, show that he's the leader. He showed a lot of excitement. He was celebrating. He was, with the team doing a lot of, promoting, pushing the offense, motivating the guys. So I'm a big proponent of that. On the defensive side, being strong at the point, having the focal point of making sure that running back doesn't beat us up the way he ran all over Florida. I was glad to see we took on that challenge. I think just like Dad said, the defense had to take that person. They've been reading, they hear, they've heard the rumors, they see the production, and I felt like that was a challenge. I was glad to see our defense take on. So a lot of the things on offense, as far as the fast start being important, and the defense, we did a lot of great tackling. So we looked like a much better unit overall. I think the motivation was there. And my hat's off not just to the players, but to the coaches, because I really like the game plan on both sides too. There was a lot of disruption on the defense side, and that's what I really wanted to see. Can we play in Kentucky's backfield? Can we get through that offensive line? And it felt like we were the dominant team on both sides of the line on Saturday.
That's right, man. Another one of our co-hosts, man. We got our co-host, Thad Shawty Parker, former wide receiver at UGA. What's going on, Shawty?
What it do, fellas? What's happening?
What up, bro?
Good to see you.
Hey, man, we in here talking about the good we seen on Saturday, man. There's a lot to talk about, man. I know you're here a little bit late, but you can still give us some of that good you talk about. And also sitting here with Mr. Sedrick Granger, Sedrick Pran's dad, man. So we want to we definitely welcome him in, man. Again, this is one of our co-hosts. So go ahead and jump in there, Shawty.
Well, I'm sure y'all don't talk about probably most of the good. I mean, I was happy to see, what I saw. I think most guys know that, this is like I say, I use the term, this is a cake that we've been baking. Kirby has always kind of been what I've seen the last few years, a person that comes in and he builds this cake. He kind of starts out slow. And every week you start to see more and more ingredients added to this cake. And we finally look like the dominant team that we were. Who wants to peak in game one? Who wants to peak in game two? I think we all thought that we would, use these first, 4 or 5 games to really kind of home in on some of the things that we really want to do well towards the later part of the season. So, I was happy to see us do what we do. We finally look dominant. I think one of our co-hosts, I think it might have been CA, hit it on last week, and I think Cal hit it on too. I mean, we're here to be critical. I mean, that's what we're here for. So anytime we don't see the Dogs performing to a certain standard, which Kirby, where we think Kirby had them at, we're going to be critical about it. That's what we're here for. But yeah, all in all, I was happy. That's
right, man. So just a couple of shout outs I want to give out. Like you said, we are here to be critical. That's what we do. Like you said, Kirby has a standard, all the players and the fan base and the staff, and everybody knows the standard. A couple of groups we was kind of hard on early on actually performed really well Saturday, and that's them linebackers, man. JDJ wanted some plays in the box. He got all night plays in the box, and he was making all of them. So shout out to JDJ. He was straight balling out of control. And, we was hard on the offensive line early. And I'm going to tell you what, man, there's 2 things I want to shout out to the offensive line. First off, Sedrick Granger got a cheap shot from number 62.
0. Oh, 62. You're right. 62.
First, it was 62. Then it was 0.
62.
And he didn't respond by, a lot of times with referees, you get the retaliator. You know what I'm saying? He didn't respond in that moment. He had a couple of plays where he was driving people. We might have only got 7 yards on the play, but he was driving people 10, 15 yards down the field.
Right.
And Dylan Fairchild. One time, Dylan Fairchild, somebody had to run out on the field to stop him because he was 20 yards down the field with the guy just just pushing them. I'm like, bro, we only got 5 yards, but I like to see it, dog. Just dominant line play, and that's what we all been expecting. You know what I'm saying? Coming into this game, man. So, like I said, it's not a lot of ugly to talk about, man. There's a couple of things we could work on. I do want to see Aaron Smith block a little bit better, man. There was a pass for Brock. I want to say like a screen for Brock Bowers or something, where his guy actually, he didn't tackle Brock, the guy that he was supposed to block, but he slowed Brock down a little bit. And I get that he dropped the ball, but the block is a little bit more for me, because that could have, who knows, if Brock gets up steam, we already know it's hard to tackle that dude. So that kind of thing I definitely want to see. Other than that, man, Carson. Hey, I can't really be mad at it. CA kind of talked about it. It's like, when you get stuff going, you kind of, hey man, take some shots, man. Show people you got control of this offense. And I felt like he was doing a heat check there in the third quarter. He was feeling himself.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Hey, we can't be mad. Hey,
I was all right with it.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Steph Curry hit 2 threes, he gonna come down and check from the logo. So that's what Carson was doing, and I'm good with that, man. Especially, he knew not to do that early on in the game. It was 34-7. Game was pretty much in hand. So shout out to Carson Beck and Mike Bobo, man. Mike Bobo was out there. Listen, man, I watched that game 3 times, man. Mike Bobo was in his bag, and I'm telling you, if he got more of that coming up, it's gonna get ugly for some teams.
You know what I wish I could have saw, man?
What's up?
And we talked about this in the years past. I really wanted to see my backup get in and be more productive. Because we're talking about developing players and having them ready if something happens and something go down. I really wanted to see some of my backup just be a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the past couple of years when our backups got in, they played, all pretty much like the starters, you know what I'm saying? But I think this year is kind of a noticeable drop off, you know what I'm saying? We did get a touchdown. I do like that Andrew Paul is getting healthier. That bodes well for the future, and Shawty talked Saturday, man. Hey, that boy number 2 look healthy out there, and he is a difference maker. That Kendall Milton is a difference maker. Them dudes do not want to tackle Kendall Milton in that second half, dog. And it's like he's an added help. I know Dejan is happy to have him back, so it can be a little bit more thunder and lightning. But I'm with you on that one, Thad. Cool, Cal. Any points you want to talk about as far as maybe improvements that you've seen on Saturday?
Brock Bowers is human. He dropped one. He dropped. That was that was crazy. But I think we did some things. There's a few things. I think now I'm gonna get to the nitpicking part of the show, everybody. But our secondary, Kentucky. Thank God they don't have at least a decent quarterback, because Kentucky a few times they got open. There was some plays there to be made that I saw, and so I think that's one thing that we got to continue to coach and teach and develop those guys on the back end. But the quarterback, he just couldn't hit him. So that was the good part about that. But it was like you said, it was good to see 10. Man, 10 stood out. 10 played amazing. He played like that bucket like he was last year. And other than that, I was glad to see some younger guys get in. I saw all the tight ends play. You got to see, Sperling, Lucky, and some of those guys play, because you never know what's going to happen during the season. And so it's good, like Shawty was saying, continue to develop that depth, because you never know when your number going to get called. So we got to be ready. So
that's right.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Granger, if it was one thing you want us to still continue to improve on, not that we did it bad, but we might just need to improve on, what would it be from this past weekend?
I say the running game. I still would like to see a more dominant running game. I want to see him blow some dudes off the ball, and I want to see some backs. The backs get some big gains. But I think they ran the ball well, but I still think they got room to improve. In that category.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, and I think some of the people getting healthy should help with that. At least that's what we think. CA, man, I know we said a lot, but you may have some stuff that we didn't talk about. Anything you want to see us improve on based off of Saturday's performance?
Nothing in particular. I think you all mentioned a lot. I'll say one more thing about that offensive line, though. I think Trust is getting a lot better at that tackle spot. I think he's getting comfortable over there. I like the depth that offensive line is developing naturally as they go through this cohesion phase and continue to gel. So, as far as my complaints, I just, that secondary can be better, but that's nitpicking because they're going to get challenged a lot if we continue to score a lot of points. So that's just going to be the nature of the beast. But I think they can wear that hat. They're good enough for it, and they'll stand up in it. As long as that trench work continues to improve on both sides, as long as we continue to get healthier as a team, I feel like we're in a very strong position moving forward. So it's hard for me to complain right now, looking at the trajectory we're on.
That's right, man. That's right.
Can I ask a question right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Graham.
Looking down the road, say, we make it to the playoffs and all that. Any one of those teams, kind of, concern y'all, Ohio State or Michigan, any one of them boys?
If I had to pick one team right now, Washington. I don't think they can stop us for the most part, but I don't know if anybody can stop Washington fully healthy, to be honest. They can lend out about 3 or 4 wide receivers and still probably have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the nation. And Michael Penix is playing at an unbelievable level. I mean, actually, he statistically outplayed Caleb Williams last year, and he's blowing him out the water statistically this year as well. So if I had to pick one team, it's probably Washington. I don't know, Cool Cal.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that.
Oh yeah, my bad, Cal. I picked Washington in a preview I did to win the Pac-12. Even though I think because they got some injuries on defense this week, they got their best defensive lineman out, the best one of the best linebackers out, and their best safety out this week. Not that their defense is elite, but when you playing a team like Oregon, I did pick them to lose by like 3 this weekend, but I still think they're gonna win the Pac-12 because everybody will be back. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Cal.
No, you good. That's definitely a team. And I still would think Ohio State as well, just because, they do have the best receiver in the country. And I think that we saw last year, given time, if their quarterback is given time, that can cause us some problems. But again, I think it kind of goes back to Shawty, what he says, kind of the styles. Like guys that want to get physical with us, like your Michigans, your Kentuckys who want to be bullies, that this ain't what they want. This ain't what they want. But, the guys where they can sit and they got great passing attacks, that can give us some problems. But again, we've got an offense. We just proved we got an offense that can go out there and get 40, 50 points if we need to.
Big facts. And if the line is protecting like they protected Saturday and Carson's able to just sit back there, I don't know if there's a defense out there he can't pick apart. Shawty, I know we spoke on this a couple of times. Any one team out there, like Mr. Granger said, that not that you think can beat us, but maybe have some concerns?
Yeah, man, that's kind of tough because, before this weekend, I could throw out a whole bunch of teams. And
that list got shorter.
Right. After saying what I saw this particular weekend, the list has definitely got shorter, but I also want to see some consistency.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be on no emotional roller coaster. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, big facts. Big facts. We want to see the Dogs put it together multiple weekends.
But with that being said, from what I've seen, if I had to just throw out one team, I was very impressed with Oklahoma. Because offensively, they can score. Let me tell you, they got athletes on the defense, and they fly around the ball. So, I would probably say Oklahoma.
I'm definitely with that. CA, what about you, man? Any team out there that you might have noticed in passing that, might be a little bit more challenging than the other ones?
I don't think there's a team. I feel like quarterback is going to be the position I really want to focus on. I'm still looking at USC. I think Caleb Williams is the dynamic type of guy that we would have to pay close attention to, keep a team in the game, have the athletes around him. A couple of turnovers by your defense, you never know what could happen. But Florida State, I think a premier quarterback would be a good challenge for us because that's going to be the guy that can move the ball on third down against what we might send at him because we're going to score. Just can you score with us?
Big facts. Mr. Granger, what about you?
Right quick about Florida State?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So, fun fact, man, pretty cool. So Sedrick has a couple rivals turn friends on the team. They got a few New Orleans guys on that team, for Florida State. And it'll be cool, man, because the Sugar Bowl, has always played in New Orleans. That's one of the playoff games. So, man, we hoping that them two can play in the Sugar Bowl, boy. Man.
Let's go.
Hey, we got we got some good history with the Sugar Bowl overall, so I'm definitely with that. What about you, Mr. Granger? Is there one team other than Florida State? I know you got the connection, but is there one team that may, you think is stronger than the rest of them if they come to play the Dogs?
To be honest with you, I would say Michigan, man, because I think it's something a little different about the team this year, I think that, they do the smash mouth stuff, but I think the quarterback is playing with a little bit more confidence. I think the defense is playing with more confidence, and I think they would be eager to prove to everybody that they can beat Georgia, and just like this weekend, we were, hyped up to show everybody to prove a point. I think them guys would do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that would mean nothing, but it would make it harder,
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like I say, I definitely was impressed with our O-line play this past weekend. But if we're talking about whole season, I got to say Michigan's O-line has been pretty dominant all year this year. And, both teams preseason Mackey Award, Mackey Award watch list. And there's some years we ain't going to tell Michigan fans we should have won it, but,
I already told my son, I said, man, I don't think y'all going to get it because of, they already want to give it to Michigan, so y'all had to come out dominating from game one.
Look good now.
It's all good. They can have that. We got our eyes on something bigger.
So my thing would be this, man. The better question I would think is almost like just really how much separation there is between, where we consider the top teams. Like, that's kind of the better question I would have. Like, I just don't know if there's a lot of separation like there have been in previous years to this point.
Not.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think there's more teams right this moment going into week 7 that people could consider contenders. Like Shawty said, whereas before it was like, the big 4 to 6. And I think right now it might be the big 8 to 12, to be honest with you. Because the Pac-12 may cannibalize itself.
Back.
Yeah, but they may cannibalize themselves. They might not. I don't know I think if there's a one-loss Pac-12 champion this year, they get in as opposed to previous years. Utah would lose one, but wouldn't get in. To play in the playoffs or whatever.
It's too strong this year.
It's like super duper hard, and every week it's a gauntlet. And then the SEC, as far as athletes, we still got them. Players, we still got them, but overall, they haven't been performing like they had in the past. So, we may not get the 2 in like last year. Big Ten got 2 teams in. So
probably not.
Yeah, I think it's hard. It's going to be hard to get 2 in, and I don't think that we would deserve that because again, like you said, the Pac-12. When I look at things, I look at the eye test, and I'm looking at the team. Washington looks legit. I don't know if USC is quite on that level, but obviously, they've got the best trigger man in the country, so that's always going to help. Florida State being great again is really big, so I think that, like we said, we're spread out a little bit across the country a little bit better, which is cool. I mean, I'd love to see Florida State in a bowl game. We like you said, we've had us, Bama, Ohio State, it seems like every year, and so it's kind of cool to see, it spread out a little bit.
Yeah. M&A Pitt's getting asked.
As long as we in it, I don't give a damn what everybody else doing.
Right. Long as, listen, just get us to the dance, we'll finish it off. You know what I'm saying? M&A Pitt say y'all forgetting about Lannon and 30-year-old Bo Nix at Oregon. No, I'm not. I think Oregon is doing good this year. We'll see what they got a chance to prove it this weekend.
I like the way they look.
Yeah, like I said, I actually got them winning this weekend. I don't have them winning the Pac-12. Though. Go ahead, CA.
I think the biggest difference is just the fact that we don't have those returning starters at quarterback. All the teams that you mentioned that are successful, ranked higher, got a second-year guy at least under center. We got the blue bloods, the traditional guys at the top. Most of us have a new guy under center this year. So, it's going to work itself out by the end of the season. But, the other guys are looking good out west. We'll see how it goes, when the game's on.
You're right about that. The traditional powers, would say Ohio State breaking in a new quarterback, new starter anyway, been on the team, but new starter. We breaking in a new starter. Alabama breaking in a new starter. So you definitely right about that. And I think Shawty hit on that a couple of times. So it's gonna be interesting. I think Shawty made a mention. I don't know if it was on this show or the Saturday Night Snap Count. This would have been the great year for the first year for the 12-team playoff, because you would have some really good games. I don't know if you'd have favorites by Vegas standards, but I don't know if you have real favorites in that first round, because there's a lot of teams out here. I mean, that can, like you say, Oklahoma and Texas ain't out of it, by the way. I mean, if they win out and beat Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, they right back in the thick of things. You got the Big 10, got the Big 3. Is this the year Penn State, wins at least one of them games between Ohio State and Michigan? And then I think they still could get 2 teams in. And don't look now, man. North Carolina, Louisville, and Florida State are all undefeated, and none of them have to play each other until the ACC championship. So
what?
Yes, because nobody.
That's a nice road. That's a nice path right there.
But listen, because they got rid of their divisions last year, like the SEC is doing next year, and Big Ten is doing next year. So like next year, nobody has divisions. But yeah, the ACC don't have divisions. So if it was divisions, Louisville would still have to play Florida State, but they don't. And I told Stat Guy at the beginning of the year, Louisville got one that they talk about the dog schedule, but Louisville got an easy schedule. So I'm like, they ain't got to play each other. So in North Carolina, they can score on anybody. We talk about Washington's offense. Mac Brown, and in his older age, man, has found the offensive drinking well or something, because they can score on anybody, dog. I don't care.
Drake May a stud, man.
Hey, and he had it before. The guy that's in the NFL right now, I think he backs up. I think he plays with
Sam Howell.
Yeah. So shout out to Mike Free, man. I always want to shout him out. He's in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Say go Dogs and aloha, man. Appreciate Mike Free always jumping in, man. So good question there, Mr. Granger. It's something that we do have to think about, especially if we want this three-peat. We're going to have to see some of them dudes down the line. You know what I'm saying? But this weekend, like CA say, man, looking ahead to the next opponent, we got to go to Nashville and take on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, it's Vanderbilt. They got the coach has a different mindset. I will say that. I'm not saying the team is different, but he has a different mindset. He has that shouty mentality. He's like, why not us? We get the same cut of the pie. Stop saying that 6 wins is good for Vandy. He said that in the interview. He said, stop saying 6 wins is good for Vandy. He said, man, don't patronize me like that. He's like, we're in the SEC. If they can win it, we can win it. Now, I don't know if they can, but hey, man, thoughts on Vandy, cool Cal.
Right player.
Yeah. Listen, man, that stuff sounds good. You know where I heard that before? What was the guy's name that was at Georgia Tech last?
Yeah, you talking about the
I heard all the same stuff. College, all the same bravado. Why not us? We're gonna do this. I think he won like 2 games in 5 years. So it sounds good. I mean, you don't have anything to lose. You might as well stick your chest out, I guess. But listen, man, I know we got to talk about the game. We're supposed to disrespect our opponent. But man, let's just go ahead and take care of business, man. It's Vandy. Let's not make too much of it. We're much better coaches, better everything. Let's take care of business.
I'm with you, man. I definitely want to come out of Nashville healthy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get anybody hurt. Going into the bye week, because we, like, again, against Kentucky, did we play better? We did, but we also had some guys getting healthier and healthier each week that we didn't have in previous weeks. You know what I'm saying? Kendall's been kind of gritting it out, but like he said, he 100% now. Lad saying the same thing. I need to see more of that, and I want to come out of Vandy healthy. So hopefully we can get up early and get some of these guys out. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Granger, me and you kind of talked about it the other day, but just to follow up on that, SVP good, ain't he? He came out for a couple of plays and then came back in the second half, even though we really didn't need him to, but he wanted to.
It's funny you said that. I told him the same thing. Like, man, I ain't think he was gonna come back in. Because the game is out of hand. But yeah, he's doing good, man. He didn't really hurt it, just kind of banged it. You know what I mean? Just was sore.
Okay.
So
right.
Monday got treatment. Back to business.
Okay, well that's good. We got a couple of reps for Jarrett Wilson to back up. You know, he didn't do too bad. He had a couple of low snaps, but like what Shawty was saying, man, getting some of them backups in to get some of them reps, man. Shelby gets in and says she did put this on social media. Vandy does hold the record, NCAA record for punting yards. Their punter just passed 11,000 punting yards.
That means he on the field a lot. He kicking a lot.
Listen, man, I was like, leave it.
I don't know if that's a good. Is that actually a good stat?
It's a good stat for him. It's a good stat for him trying to go to the league.
I can tell you one thing, though. My son said that kid you just talking about, Jarrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Son said, man, he's gonna be stud. You know.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Hey, good to know. Okay.
Listen, because you know, technically, if things go the way we all want them to go, we could be losing our center and our quarterback. And you know, I always say on offense, you got the play caller, the OC, you got the quarterback, and then you got the center because they calling out all the coverages. And I don't like changing a whole bunch of them in the same time. But if you're saying it's SVP saying Jared good, then I'm gonna take his word for it because we've been blessed, you know, at Georgia with the centers, and that'll be definitely helpful. So good. Anybody going to the game? I mean, I am going to the game. I try to go to Nashville. It's a good place to hang out. Anybody else? You going to the game, Mr. Granger?
I'm like you. I was gonna go. You know, and when my son, he was like, "Man, you gonna go to that game?" And I was like, "I was just gonna go just to hang out in Nashville." But no, I'm not gonna go.
Oh, okay. Look at SVP trying to get them tickets away. He's trying to somebody
trying to sell them tickets. They don't get nothing.
But that's where I was going. That's where I was going. He tried to get them a little scratch. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So let's see. Healthy is the key, Heena says. That's right.
Sure.
JV said it's Vandy. It's a Vandy stat talking about the punting. Go ahead, Charter.
That game going to also be kind of important, though, from a psyche standpoint. You know, I was talking about being on that emotional roller coaster. It's going to be interesting to see if we can keep the momentum we had from the Kentucky game.
Yeah.
Even though we playing Vandy, still get up for them, go in there and smash. You know,
that's right.
Try to get these guys to back up some reps again. So it's going to be interesting to see that, because if we go in there and go in there and play with our food, then, you know, those rumblings going to come back up, and we're going to be someone on the line next week.
That's right. You're right. You're right about that.
It's going to be me.
Go ahead, CA.
Well, I was just going to say, man, we definitely want to start fast because, you know, I mean, just looking at SVP, we don't want to have our main guys out there for 4 quarters. We want to get in here and handle business early and do our best to let these young guys get as many reps as possible. And I would love to do it in a vanilla fashion. I don't want to show anything. This ain't a show something game. I want to be as basic as possible. I want to go backwards a little bit, you know, especially after the second quarter moving forward, and just beat them up a little bit. Let my trench work show and let these defensive and offensive linemen really get comfortable and continue to work on their craft and their technique, because this is that kind of game. So I would love to see a game where it's maybe a 33-35 point shutout. And that way we don't overextend the offense, you know, don't put Beck in any positions where we can, you know, not have him as we go forward. But at the same time, let these backups get as much time as possible across the board.
Definitely. You always want to get those guys in. Shelby says it won't be good if we treat Vandy like Miami treated Tech. You're right. That won't go well.
I can't believe they did that.
Listen,
I'm so disappointed in Miami.
You know, hey man, sidebar, y'all do like I just found out today. This ain't the first time Cristobal had the lead less than a minute, and the other team didn't have no timeouts, and he went for it, and then they fumbled the ball. He did it at Oregon against Stanford one time. I'm like,
wow,
like yo, bro, I get that that's your philosophy, but
Trend.
you're undefeated.
That's a bad philosophy. that can't be a philosophy.
He tried to be super macho, man. You know, we're gonna run it. You know?
That ego. All you had to do was take a knee. Listen, man, and I told y'all before, man, my brother's a huge Miami fan, man. I didn't even call him Saturday, man. I just woke up to a text message.
That, Coach.
Yeah.
Hey, I woke up to I woke up to a text message Sunday. He said, "I'm effing pissed." I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like, bro, like, I'll call you sometime midweek when you done calm down. Pretty sure he broke a TV or something because they was undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, they
That
was
was tough.
undefeated. They was
That was
undefeated,
tough.
just like Louisville, Florida State, North Carolina. You know, Miami's still trying to get back to the U or whatever they're doing down there. And that's you. I mean, it's one thing if a team
That's
beat
a
you, dog.
big setback. It's going to be interesting to see how they play the rest of the season, knowing that they got that. You know what I'm saying? How you going to move on?
Psyche. That's that
Right.
psyche Shawty was talking
Right.
about.
Right.
I
So
got a question
that's
from
that's
Mr. Granger too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever my bad, Cal. I ain't know whenever Cal done.
I think
Go ahead, man. I'm used to you cutting me off. Go ahead.
Let me go on mute.
So, Mr. Granger, let me ask you this question here. So, you know, the landscape of football has been rapidly changing. You know, NIL has made, you know, big waves in college football. How, in your opinion, how has NIL affected, you know, if you can go into it, how has NIL affected your family? You having a son at UGA, possibly want to come back, whether it be to get a degree or work on some things on his game, or just, you know, it's cool to come back now. You know, you're not so much stressed, maybe financially, as some people are, and I know everybody's situation is different. So, how has NIL, you know, affected you and your family?
So the NIL, you know, how can I say this? We aren't, I'm gonna just say it, we're not, you know, greedy people. You know what I'm saying? So if he have opportunities to earn him some money, you know what I mean, that's fine. But I'm not gonna mortgage, you know, my son, you know, future. We're not gonna what's the word? We're not gonna let the main reason why if he go or stay or whatever, you know, it's based on NIL. You know what I mean? Like I'm a blue collar person. I'm in construction. I make a decent living. You know, and my philosophy is okay. Well, hey man, you know, it's enough money to do what we need to do. You know what I mean? And it's been working. You know what I mean for this time. So what's another? How long you have to be in school? You know what I mean? Until you have opportunity to earn some bigger money. So for us, you know, it was never like a big deal simply because of that's just, you know, we just wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't come from that. I come from a background of workers and I instilled that in him, you know. So, you know, it was never oh well you can get paid now, man, you know, try to hit him for everything you can. You know, it's like, no. You know what I mean? If some people want to do some deals with you, that's great. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna be the main reason, you know, why you choose to stay or leave or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know, you didn't got up to this point. You know, like you might as well finish it out. You know?
Yeah, I think that kind of speaks to something you said about bigger money, like the NFL money. I think Kirby mentioned one time last year. He was like, you know, he's going to try to get his kids NIL, but he tries to sell the recruits on getting NFL money instead, you know, worrying about that as opposed to NIL. Say NIL is good, but it ain't NFL. So, but like Shawty said, it makes it good, you know, where some people don't have to stress about it. Is you know, everybody's situation different. You're in a situation where you're able to teach your son, hey man, let's just go out here and play ball. Opportunity presents itself, we'll take it, but we ain't gonna you know, chase the bag, so to say.
And for me, man, I'm sorry not to cut you off. For me,
you good?
Even if I was in a dire financial situation, man, I couldn't imagine putting that on my son. You know, I'm the parent. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna put that on you, man. You gotta leverage your body and your health to help take care of us. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't imagine me doing that. You know what I mean? But that's just me. You know?
Yeah, I think they trying
And
to
I
talk
just
about.
want to say, man, I can see. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
just
no, you
want to
got it.
say, man, I can see why.
You
You
ain't
know what I'm
sorry.
saying? From a distance. Now, I am sorry. Unlike you, sir. One of the biggest things, you know, seeing for your son from afar, looks like he has great leadership skills, man. It looks like I see where he gets it from. Looks like obviously he comes from a good grounded family. And like I told you earlier, man, I'm glad, man, he's a part of the program because he's a big part of the culture of what Georgia is today.
Big facts.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to come behind that real quick, man. And Dad, just hats off to you because a lot of these young men are coming from single parent homes. You being a part of your son's life is a huge reason why he's still a Bulldog. That guidance and leadership is clear, especially in the decision he makes and how he plays on the field. So hats off to you and the work that you and the family has done and put in, because I think it's showing and we're getting a chance to reap some of that benefit, because you got to have a holistic view. Because if I was the 5th rank or the 7th rank, I'm gone, Shawty. I'm gone. If I'm top 10, we gone to get that money. So you got to have a bigger picture in mind, and to hear you speak on it and to know he went through that process, hats off to you and yours for, that contribution. We appreciate you.
Definitely. Our other co-host is in the chat, JV, man. JV said he's not heard nothing but great things about SVP and his outlook and leadership on the team. And like CA said, man, and Cool Cal, we definitely see where he gets it from, man. And definitely glad to have him in Athens, especially, like as fans, man, all we see is football, but these are people too, you know what I'm saying? And it's good to have people like Mr. Granger come on and tell us about their side of it. Trying to get more, get with some more parents on here and talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys are in the trenches, kind of sort of say it everyday life with your kids going through these things. So shout out to Mr. Granger. We definitely appreciate you for coming on the show and spending some time with us, man. We're going to get some predictions for this weekend, score predictions for this weekend. People in the comments, man, give us y'all score predictions. We are 31.5-point favorites in Nashville this weekend, so we'll get some score predictions and wrap this thing up, man. I think I'll go ahead and start with a score prediction. I'm like the fellas say, man, I want to see us come out, mentally, and be in that same space so we can get in, get out, get our backups, some more experience. And I think CA might have said or I forget who. I want to see kind of like the defense, hold these teams, hold Vandy to no touchdowns type deal. So I'm gonna say 31-3, and we just gonna get out of Vandy healthy. Shawty, what you got on it?
42-3.
42-3. I like yours better than mine. Shelby say 55-3. Shelby, she is like
I like that. Shelby's balling.
She wanted she didn't want to kick your teeth in.
Yeah. Shelby, leave no doubt, Herman. Run it up. What you got, Cool Cal?
I'm a little in between everybody, but I like a solid victory. Something like 42-45 nothing.
I like that goose head. That goose head sound real good.
Solid victory.
You know what I'm saying? Solid. That's a solid victory.
I'm with CA. Let's just go up there, man. Let's handle business. I like to see the offense come out like we did last game. Let's 28-0, 31-0 at the half. Get the second groups, third groups in there and get some playing time.
That's right. M&A Pitts gets in and say 54-17. I guess maybe some late touchdowns there, Pitts. Now, I will mention Vandy hasn't scored on us in like 3 years. So there's that. So we could keep that trend going. JV get in and say 48-9. All right, Mr. Granger, it's on you, man. Wrap us up with your score prediction for this weekend.
I say 35-0. Like one of you guys was saying, I don't think Kirby and them are going to try to open it up on them. I think it's more about, going in, taking care of business, getting out healthy. So, they probably get up on them big early and, they're going to play Kirby ball in the second half, And
that's right.
I think they're going to slow it down. So I'll say 35-0.
Goose egg's always good with me. I like don't let him get in the end zone or the field goal at all. My guy B Shaw gets in and say 47-6. He give them 2 field goals. Okay. Hey man, who knows? Like, listen, they got a good punter. They punt for all these yards. Maybe they got a good kicker or anything. Shelby with the closeout dig of the week. She said her and Heena could score on Vandy. So there it is.
I believe that. I believe that. Like I totally believe that. So
Mike Free say Kirby's still mad about COVID year when we didn't get a chance to play Vandy. So
that's a good point.
Go ahead, Cal. You had
Nah, I was just gonna say, man. I know we about to wrap up the show, and I was talking about the game last week, man, and I was a little down about something, man. Damn, man. When I tell you, I'm gonna miss that damn Brock Bowers, man. How good is this guy, man? Like, how good is this
unreal,
guy?
bro. It's getting
like for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about a guy that just came straight in and just gave 3 amazing years right off the, and just that's all I was gonna say, man.
He's been arguably the best player. He's been arguably the best player on 3 national championship teams. Well, if we win,
I like that. I like that Freudian slip right there. That 3 national championship teams. Right. I like that, Scotty. That was cold. That was cold. You meant to do it. I know it. Hey, man, shout out to everybody viewing on Facebook, viewing on YouTube, man. Respect the Hedges family, Dog Nation, man. We thank Mr. Granger for coming on. Mr. Granger, like we tell all our guests, man, you always welcome to come on and chop it up with the dogs, whether you want to complain about some stuff or congratulate them about something. You always welcome at Respect the Hedges, man. For my guys that couldn't make it, E-Rob, JV, man. We got Thad, Cool Cow, CA. I'm Coach I, man. This is Respect the Hedges. And as always, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Hedges.